Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you the Immortal Game. So it was a game played between Adolf Anderssen and Lionel Kieseritzky. So here Anderssen was white. He played e4. It is the most common move played. So here black just replied with e5, the king's pawn opening. So this is the most common reply played by white. Here Anderson played f4, the king's gambit. It was very popular in the earlier days. So Anderson played f4, the king's gambit. So black just immediately took this pawn with e into f4. It is the best way to counter this gambit. We accept this gambit. So here Anderson played bishop to c4, developing his bishop. It is a bishop gambit. But the main line in this position is to play knight to f3. Here black can develop his knight to f6, then g5 also can be possible, and d6 is also possible. Here white can also play d4, attacking this f4 pawn in f4 pawn, and then white will be much better in development. So but here white Anderson played bishop to c4. It's also a good move. Here black played queen to h4 check. Now this king on e1 is attacked. Now this king has to move and the rights for the castle is not destroyed for white. Now here's white can here play g3, but it doesn't work because f into g3, and if you play moves like knight to f3, there's g2 check and it will be a win for black. So here white can try a sacrifice with bishop into f7 and king into f7, like queen f3, knight to f6, and h into g3, protecting this rook, queen into e4, and now white will force an exchange, black will force an exchange of queens, and this will be a win position for black as he is a whole knight up. So here that is why Anderson played king to f1. But this move is not so bad because white is better in development and he will develop all his pieces first, and then it will be a much better position for white also. Here black played b5. He counter gambits a pawn. Here Anderson played bishop into b5. There's no reason for playing this b5. So here black played knight to f6. Just is attacking the c4 pawn and threatening knight to g4. And here white just attacked this queen on h4 with knight to f3. He has developed this knight with a tempo on the queen. Now this queen moves to h6. It's the only possible square, the best move. Yes, black can move to queen to h5, attacking this bishop on b5, but here just white plays knight to c3 and this will be a better position for white. So here black played queen to h6. Now here Anderson played d3. He is protecting this e4 pawn in the center, and also he can play g3 and then bishop into f4, some ideas like that. Here black played knight to h5. Just he is trying to support this f4 pawn, which is a weakness for black. Here white played knight to h4, trying to play knight to f5 with a brilliant outpost. So here black played queen to g5. He is double attacking the knight and also the bishop on b5. Now this knight moves to f5. The only move in this position, he saves his knight and also his bishop with the single move. So here black played c6, just attacking this bishop on b5. Here black can play g6. Now if the knight moves, the bishop goes. But here white will play h4. Now this queen moves anywhere like to f6, and then it will be like moves like knight to c3, g into f5, and queen into h5, and it will be a better position for white. After he can play a queen into f5, and if he takes this pawn on e4, white will simply take it with knight into e4, and white will get much better play than black. So black here played c6. So here white just played g4, attacking this knight and also giving one support to this knight. He has just sacrificed this bishop. Here black played knight to f6. As this knight is under attack, black tells that I will move my knight and also attack your g4 pawn at the same time. Here white played rook to g1. He sacrifices his bishop on b5. Here white can play h4, and after queen into g4, queen into g4, knight into g4, bishop to f4, it will be a better position for black as he will have many counterplay like bishop to c5, then knight moves and moves like knight to f2, the f4 pawn will start approaching. So here white played rook to g1, just she sacrificed this. And c into b5, the most brilliant move. This is only move for black. He takes this bishop. So here white attacks this queen on g5 with h4. This queen has only one square to move. It's to g6, queen to g6. And now white again attacks this queen with h5. Again the queen is forced to move to g5. He played this. Here if black played knight into h5, then it will be g into h5, and it will be a good position for white because he will have many counter plays on g7. This is attacked. So here black played queen to g5. Here white played queen to f3. He's trying to play e5 and bishop into f4 at the same time. It's simply beautiful. Here this knight retreated to g8, making space for the black queen to move. Here if black played moves like bishop to b7, then bishop into f4 attack on the queen, and knight into g4, the only possible move in this position. If he takes this, and black is planning to play knight to h2 check like this, but white will not fall into this trap. He will play queen into g4, and see white is a whole piece up in this position. So here black played knight to g8, and here white played bishop into f4. This queen is under attack now. The only possible square for the queen to move is f6. He retreats his queen and also attacks his b2 pawn. Here white just defended this b2 pawn with knight to c3. And here if white plays moves like e5, he is planning to play this queen into a8, but this plan doesn't work anymore because black will play queen to c6, and this will be an equal position like so. Here white played knight to c3, and here black just developed his bishop to c5, attacking this rook on g1. Here if black plays b4 moves like this, then there is two moves. You can play knight to d5 and also knight to b4. And this is under attack the c7 square, and it will be a very good position for white to play. So after bishop to c5, white played knight to d5. He's attacking this queen. He just sacrificed his b2 pawn also, and black immediately took this with queen into b2. And here white played a brilliant move. Can you find it? Yes, it's bishop to d6. White just ignores his rook on a1 and he plays aggressive moves like this. It's simply brilliant move. Here, black took this rook on g1 with bishop into g1. But this is a losing position for black. We will see what Anderssen played in this game after bishop into g1. But let's check if black plays queen into a1. And here, after queen into a1, here white can simply play king to e2. And black shouldn't be greedy so much and take this rook on g1 because it loses by force. Knight into g7 check, king to d8 and bishop to c7 is checkmate. So here king e2 and queen to g7 b2 is the best move for black. And this will be a position where white can sacrifice pieces in order to checkmate black like this. So let's see what happens if black takes his bishop with bishop into d6. But this also loses by force because knight into d6 check, king to d8. Now there's knight into f7 check, king e8, again to d6 check, king d8 and queen f8 is a checkmate. So black here played bishop into g1 and here white played a brilliant move. Can you find it? Yes, it's e5. He's sacrificing his another rook on a1. What a brilliant move played by Anderssen. Here black just, without seeing what happens, he played queen into a1, check. Now this king moved to e2. But this king has come out of this position and but these pawns are well protecting this king. So knight a6 is the only move to play by black. If he moves play like bishop to a6, then knight to c7 check and white has the advantage. So black played knight to a6 and here white played knight into g7 check. This king is now in check. It has only one square to move. King to d8. Now here comes a brilliant move. Can you find it? It's queen to f6 check. What a brilliant queen sacrifice. Knight into f6 and bishop to e7. Checkmate. What a game. Yes, we can play knight to e7 here, but what happens? Bishop into e7 is checkmate. So this is the immortal game because white sacrifices the bishop, both these rooks, and also the queen, but still won through checkmate. Black still now has all of his pieces like knight, bishop, rook, and queen, but still black has to lose. It is regarded as one of the most popular and beautiful games ever played. If you like